Gender studies professor reprimanded after failing student for using biological women. Yes, biological women. Do they not exist, biological women, anymore? Well, according to this gender studies professor, you'll fail your exams if you dare to say biological woman. But I suppose if you say transgender woman, or should we say fake woman, then you'll probably get a pass. Anyway, we'll read on, shall we? An Ohio gender studies professor was formally reprimanded and ordered to complete free speech training after giving a student a failing grade on a project centred around women's rights in sports that used the phrase biological women. Where have I heard that one before? I'll tell you where I've heard biological women before. Most of my life and previous to me being on this earth, the word or the description of biological woman has been ascribed to biological women for millennia. And suddenly we have a professor, a wokey professor. How dare you? You'll fail your exam. Melanie Nipper, an adjunct professor at the University of Cincinnati, received an official reprimand from the school in June after she gave her student, Olivia Krolsiski, a 0 out of 20 on a May final project in a gender popular culture class, stating that biological women is an exclusionary term. How about not being able to use the word biological woman? Is that an exclusionary excuse to fail someone in an exam? And when we go on to read and find out that the whole point of using the biological woman description, which is true of women, because all women biologically, by default, are biological women, unless of course you want to change the definition of what a woman is. But most of the time, those who want to change the definition of what a woman is can't even tell you what a woman is, especially a biological woman, because they seem to think fake men, transgender men, fake men, trans fake men, fake women can have periods, can do all kinds of things, can get pregnant now. Yes, I've heard that one as well. Unbelievable. Yes, that applies, that one, to the fake man or transgender man, a woman who has now decided she wants to be known as a man who is a biological woman because she's got the biology of a real woman claiming to be a man, and she goes and gets pregnant by a real man. Then she says, or they say, well, that means men can now get pregnant. Yes, it's crazy world, isn't it? These crazy people. A copy of the reprimand obtained by the Cincinnati Enquirer stated that Nipper's actions violated the university's campus free speech policy. The letter also stated that any other violations of the university's policies may result in termination. To prevent any further violation of this policy, you must complete training on the requirements of the campus free speech policy. You'd have thought they'd have already given this person the training, or is this retraining? Did this person just ignore the free speech training that they received? Isn't this campus supposed to be, colleges, universities, about free speech, discussing different ideas? Even if Hitler came along with his ideas, he should be allowed to speak them so people can be exposed to those ideas and those ideologies so they can say, this is why it's wrong. This is why it's wrong. Blah, 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 blah. But oh no, let's put everything in the cupboard. Hey, no free speech allowed. Nipper appealed the reprimand in a June 19 letter to UC's interim dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Margaret Hanson. She argued that the restriction on what she referred to as harmful speech was necessary to ensure a safe learning environment. The professor defended her actions. Was it really a man? Was it a woman? We don't know. When people say her and he and him and how, no, we just don't know, do we? Are they a biological woman? Are they a biological man? But now you're not allowed to use the term biological woman or biological man, according to this insane mad professor that they've employed to teach our students in the universities. See the change in definitions. They're getting rid of what we know as normative. And in fact, this professor, he goes on, I don't know, I'm confused. Is this professor a man? I don't know, but hey, let's carry on. Inappropriate, because she believed it framed trans individuals as oppressors. They are oppressors. Fake women, trans women are oppressing and attempting to oppress biological women in sports and in other parts of life. These are men in dresses, whether you like it or not. They are abusers of the flesh, mutilators of the flesh, abusing women because they're not capable of competing successfully in men's sports and accepting that basically, well, okay, I'm not that good. I can't run a marathon against a man, and I can't win against a man. So I'm going to race against women and beat them. Yes, like in the bedroom. Yes, beat them behind closed doors as well whilst you're at it, shall we? Or when no one's looking. Yes, are you a beater of women? Trans woman? Fake woman? Are you? Is this what you want? Domination over women? Yes, it seems to me like it is. It's provable, isn't it? Here. My language in the Canvas comment informed the student that the term biological woman was the issue. However, in follow-up emails with the students, I answered her questions and explained that the context of the topic with the phrase was the issue, rather than the isolated phrase itself, Nipper wrote. The adjunct instructor felt it necessary to tell the student to change their project topic or alter the language to include all women. Well, if you're going to include men, biological men, in the all women class, then that's a falsification, isn't it? You are falsifying biology, attempting to. Another reason the professor cited for the failing grade was that the project failed to use in-class sources, which she noted do not support trans exclusionary feminism. Additionally, as the class has students that identify as gender non-conforming and or trans, I felt it was necessary to educate her regarding inclusive language to ensure a safe learning environment for other students in the course discussion boards. Nipper added, safe learning environment. Why would you need a safe learning environment for reality? Gravity! Let me just show you. Tube of ointment. Gravity falls to the ground. Now, if that offends me or someone else, the fact that gravity is real, just like biological sex is real, your biological sex is real, that's part of the natural laws of the universe, like gravity. If the fact that falls down as gravity would predict and gravity would do to that object, any object, if that offends me, then I've got something wrong with my thinking on the matter, haven't I? It shouldn't offend me that reality is real. But these insane people, this is exactly what they're doing. They are saying to people, if reality offends you, then anybody who comes along proclaiming reality is offensive and you must be silenced. We live in cuckoo land and we want to remain there. We love cuckoo land because we don't have to face reality. We don't have to face the day. We don't have to face the fact that the sun rises or the earth rotates. We don't have to face the fact that darkness covers the earth at night. We don't have to face the fact that light covers the earth during the day. We want to live in cuckoo land. We want to live in a world of Facebookness. We want to live in a world where we create our own reality. Our own reality, because that's so much better for us. Yes, it's so much wonderful. isn't it? Creating our own reality. Nipper concluded her letter by requesting that interim dean reconsider the reprimand, expressing confidence that she can continue teaching students without violating the school's policy of freedom of expression. The University of Cincinnati did not immediately respond to the Christian Post request for comment. In May, Kroll Sisk shared her final project grade and the professor comments in a TikTok video. The student video featured a screenshot of Nipper's remarks in her project saying that she'd regrade the assignments of Krolsick, edited it to focus on women's rights, not just females. Again, we've just gone over that. Women are females. I'm sorry, you can try to change the definition as much as like, it's not going to happen. In addition to deriding the phrase biological women as exclusionary, Nipper said that the term is not allowed in the course because it reinforces, wait for it, heteronormativity. So, heteronormativity. Let's look at what heteronormativity is as a definition, what it means, okay? And heteronormativity, the view that all human beings are either male or female, both in sex and in gender, and that sexual and romantic thoughts and relations are normal only when between people of different sexes. That's normal, yes. That's completely normal. I agree with it. That's what we've lived with for the past millennia. Millennials, plural. That's what we've had. And now these lunatics are coming along and saying that what is normal is not allowed. Again, fakeness. Again, a land of, fairy tales and fluffy clouds of non-reality. I just can't comprehend. Well, I can. But, all right, you can understand them going out there and saying, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be this. But then they try to get that across to you. And you are forced to live in their fantasy land. They're attempting to force us to live in their fantasy land. We don't even attempt to force them to live in our normal land. We just say, this is how it is. And when we say, this is how it is, you're a hater, you're a transphobe. Blah, 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 blah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, Krolsick project focused on women's rights in sport. So this is what she was focusing on, the student. She was focusing on women's rights in sports, from securing a spot for women in the Olympic Games to the current challenges female athletes face when biological men are allowed to compete as women. The student questioned in the video how she was supposed to complete her project if she couldn't use the phrase biological women. But then again, this professor's on cuckoo land, non-reality, denying the laws of nature, denying gravity, denying biological sex, etc. So therefore, it wouldn't be anything out of the norm of his new norm, the new definitions, to actually do what she is saying. And that is ban her and stop her from basically blocking her from bringing this to the front and debating this. They're blocking free speech. Women's sports advocates such as Riley Gaines have repeatedly addressed the impact that allowing biological men into women's spaces has had on female athletes, including toilets. Last month, and NHS hospitals, Gaines testified during a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing titled Protecting Pride, Defending the Civil Rights of LGBTQ plus Americans. Gaines, a former collegiate swimmer and University of Kentucky graduate, discussed their experience competing against Will Thomas, a biological man who identifies as a woman named Leah Thomas. Thomas previously competed as a man for 3 seasons at the University of Pennsylvania before he started competing on the girls' team during the 2021-22 season. Besides being forced to share a locker room with Thomas, the women athletes watched Thomas beat multiple female swimmers. Gaines accused the NCAA of discriminating against women by allowing a man to compete against them and claim their awards. Yes, by allowing a man to compete against them and claim their awards. Yes, this is what these narcissistic wannabe women, fake women, trans women, fake women, sorry, as well as fake men, but fake women. This is what they're doing. They are abusers of women. If they haven't got the honour and the ethics and the fortitude to say, no, I'm not going to do this. But no, they don't care. They don't care. They're just selfish. Me. It's all about me, and me.